Alright, what you're going to be learning today is sort of what a circumcenter is of a triangle. So the first thing is that the circumcenter is created by the perpendicular bisectors of each side. So this is your circumcenter here. And you can see that each side is being bisected by these lines. So that's this side here, this side, and it's also making a right angle. And this side. And where they all intersect is going to be your circumcenter. So it's created by the perpendicular bisectors of each side. Another cool thing about the circumcenter is that it is actually the center of a circle that goes through the vertices of your triangle. So here is the circle that is circumscribed around the triangle. That's what we call it, circumscribed around the triangle. And it's going to be the center of this circle. Okay, so that's what it is for the triangle. So what this means about the circumcenter is actually that, notice that this is a radius of my circle, okay, and this is also a radius of my circle, and so is this. So since those are all radiuses of my circle, and that means that these things must all be the same length. So that's kind of the reason why the circumcenter exists. All right, so what we just went over is that it's equidistant from the vertices. So if this is the circumcenter, then that means that these segments here are going to be the radii of your circle. It would look like this. All right. So since that's the radii of your circle, then these are all going to be the same length. And then the other cool thing is that all the sides are bisected. So this is congruent to this, that is congruent to that, and this is congruent to this. Okay, so let's work out some examples, and I think you guys will find this pretty easy. So, example number 1. If A is the circumcenter, find AC. Okay, so here's A, and let me get a little light over here. All right, so there's A. What we know about this is that all of these things are going to be congruent, okay? Another thing that we know is that this is going to be congruent to this is going to be congruent to this, and then these things are going to be congruent. One thing that we don't know anything about is these lengths right here. So these don't really mean anything, the ones with the right angles on them right now. Those were your perpendicular bisectors. So let's look over this problem and see if we can figure out what's going on. It's asking us to find AC. Okay, it's asking us to find AC. So notice that is from the center to one of the vertices. So that is actually going to be the same as all of these lengths here. Okay. So since it's the same as this length, which we are given is 14, that means that AC is going to be 14. Okay, these are all radii of my circle, so that's why they're all going to be the same length. So if this is 14, this is 14, and this one is also 14. Okay, so AC is going to be 14. And that's just it. Okay, let's go on to another example. If G is the circumcenter, find KL. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just mark all the things that I know to be true. First thing, I know that all of these segments are going to be the same. So those are the distance to the vertices. I also know that these things are going to be congruent to each other. Okay, so we're looking for KL. KL is this one right here. So I need to look and see what KL is congruent to. Well, since this was a perpendicular bisector, that means that this length is going to be the same as this length. So if this is 10, then this is going to be 10. And that's just it. Okay, let's move on to a third example, and we're going to go a little bit further with this, but not much. So example number 3. Right? If B is the circumcenter created by perpendicular bisectors, find BD, BH, FE, HC, and FG. Okay, so again, the first thing that I'm going to do is mark all the things that I know to be true. So I know that this is congruent to this, which is congruent to that. And then I also know that this is congruent to this is congruent to this, and lastly, these are congruent to each other. Okay, so looking at this diagram, right away I know that BD, BH, and BF are all going to be the same measurement. So if this is 14, that means this is 14, and that also means this is 14. Okay, so over here we can write BH equals 14. Let's see what else equals 14. BD equals 14. Okay, so we just found the first two. And then we're going to go around and do the rest of them. So we want to find FE, it's this one right here. But since this is a perpendicular bisector, then that means that these two things are going to be the same. So if that was 16, then this is 16. So we know FE equals 16. Now we want to find HC and FG. So HG is this guy right here. Since it is being bisected by this, then that means that it is 19. So HG is 19. And then the last one, FG, is right here. And this is going to be congruent to this segment. So 17. Okay, so this is your answer here. Alright, hopefully you didn't find this video too challenging, but if you did, please let me know. I can answer any questions that you have at all. Your assignment today is going to be in quizzes, and you can have unlimited attempts if you would like. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys.